Good morning to a very sunny and frosty allotment. First frost of the season. Sign of things to come. Right, okay, let's crack on and see if I can get some progress made with the compost bays. So here we are, back down at the plot, and as you can see behind me, I've knocked in 8 posts that have gone down in between the pallet. I've not knocked them in yet, I've got to do that yet, but you can see the depth that they're going to go down to. The big problem is, bad start today because I forgot my sledgehammer. So I've got to nip over to Mick's plot now and see if he's got his there, because if not, it's all the way back home again. Not a good start. Well, thankfully, Mick came to the rescue. He didn't have a sledgehammer, but he had a massive paving hammer. It's not ideal, but it'll do. And as you can see, I've got these 2 down. So once I get the other 6 down, I'll screw them in and I'll just take the tops off with the chainsaw. Right, finally got those knocked in. Harder work than you think. Just I came across one problem. That far post over there, remember we had that brick wall thing that we're running across there. I had to smash it out last week. Well, it came back to haunt me again. So what I've had to do is I've had to put that post on the inside of the pallet rather than down the middle. It were that, I'll take the pallet off and get the stone out, and I ain't doing that. So all that's left now is for me to fire the chainsaw up and take the tops off. So now I've got those sawn off and secure. This is really nice and solid now and square. So what I'm going to do now is just fire some mesh at the back of this here, just to maintain it and stop it from falling out at the back there. What I'm going to do is put a couple of battens down each side of the open end pallets. So as you can see, these have got rails on here, but this side hasn't. So I'm going to put a couple of battens down there so that I can fix the foam back signs to just hold it all in. So I've just done this one. I've just got 2 more to do, and we'll crack on from there. So that's them 3 battens there secure. Now what I need to do is just fasten those foam back signs on there up to the top on all sides. I'll leave the back open so there's some ventilation. So basically the compost should be contained in this space. Obviously I've got to do the front, but then hopefully it'll keep a little bit more heating as well. Obviously I've got to consider a lid. So crack on with these and I'll see you soon. Right then, I've made a little bit of progress. I haven't even stopped for a cuppa yet. I've got all the white signs on. As you can see, I've topped all the tops off just to finish it off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start and put these rails on, and these rails are going to be at the front. So basically the rail's going to sit like that, and then what I'm going to have is a timber like this then screwed onto there, and then what that'll do is it'll create a crevice, and then I can drop the front lats down to make the front. I'm just in two minds whether or not I should board the whole thing out. So where I've put the chicken wire, should I board that out? I've had 2 or 3 people pass the lane here, and some have said, yeah, board it out, you know, and I've said, well, what about air? Does air need to get through? And some have said, well, just leave the front, lap the front, so you can get a little bit of air going through that way. But the majority of people passing say, completely board it out, it'll maintain the heat and keep the thing, keep the compost cooking. Let me know your thoughts on that, because it's always something that I can always do later on. And the guys just give me a real tip. I'm not at the point, yet again, I've underestimated how much work's needed here, so I'm not going to complete this in this video. But one of the guys walking past, and it just shows you learn something from everyone. He said to me, make sure, he says, what handed are you? You know, which hand do you use? It's your predominant hand. He says, oh, I'm right-handed. He says, right. He says, well, when you start, make sure you fill the far bay. He says, so that you're throwing over into the next bay, you know, comfortably with your right. And I never thought of that. I was straight away going to fill this corner bay here, so that had made me work. So you live and learn. Right, I'll get these front bits on, I'll show you that, and then I'll just give you a closer look. Okay. Then I wonder why all my tools are broke. Right folks, I'll take you in for a closer look. Been down here since 8 o'clock. I'm not quite sure what time it is now. Have a quick look at my watch. 1:25. So yeah, 10-minute video or whatever it is. You don't realise the work that goes into it. Right, so as you can see now, I'll take you in close up. I've managed to get the fronts on. So as you can see, just here, all the fronts are on. So that tidies it up a little bit. And the idea being, if I put you over the top, is what we do then is we get some timbers and they drop down into the space like that. So what I will do is I'll make sure there's a little bit of leverage so when the wood swells, it doesn't, you know, get stuck. So yeah. I'm pretty pleased with that. I've tidied up the chicken wire at the back of the fascia. But yeah, let me know what you think about boarding the back out and enclosing it completely. Am I right in thinking that that's going to intensify the heat and it's going to be more effective, or am I blocking out natural oxygen? What I've got here is a load of manure again. And what I'm going to do when I put in all this green waste here and all the green waste out of the compost bins and the big bag that I've got down there, I'm going to layer it with that manure as well. So hopefully that'll kickstart the heat process. Well, that's me done for today. Didn't achieve what I thought I might in getting one of the bays actually full. But it's been a long morning, so I'm ready now to go home and get myself a bath. I won't be down on Sunday because it's Armistice Day, and being an ex-military man myself, I always like to pay my respects for those that have gone before us. So I'll be taking a well-earned rest tomorrow. But I will be back next week, and hopefully we'll get the front finished. So we've got down the drop-down fronts, and I'll be able to start loading the bay. So until next week, guys, have a fantastic weekend and happy growing.